Tail the tape for this one. The 24-year-old Ceranja is going to face the 25-year-old Milidragovic. Edge of experience for sure on Milidragovic, and for Luka, he's going to have to go in there and try to get that win in FNC.
This MMA rules bout takes place in the minus 70 kilogram lightweight division and will be contested over 3 5-minute rounds. Your referee in charge when the action gets underway, Mr. Franco Kleeman. Fighters to the center, please, for your final instructions.
Referee Kleeman giving the fighters instructions. Interesting, the odds split at the moment with regards to who they think are going to take the win here tonight, but it's scheduled for 3. The weight category is lightweight, under 77 keys. Luka Ceranja of Croatia, Luka Milidragovic, again of Croatia. And Ceranja fighting red, Milidragovic fighting blue. Chris, what do you say, what do you know?
Well, the first thing is going to be the open stance matchup. That's one of the key things. Milidragovic is probably the slight favorite, or certainly was opening bookie lines.
Slick hands there. That's an aggressive start there from Milidragovic.
He's really good on the outside. That's one of the things that I thought was going to be intriguing, because Ceranja likes to play that game too.
So, respectful exchanges so far. Milidragovic opened up with the hands, followed through with the kick, with that southpaw stance. And that is a wicked axe kick he's got there, and that's a wicked left hand he's trying to sink in as a cross. But so far Ceranja has managed to keep out of trouble. Landed anything. So Ceranja has to work out a way to get in. But the aggression seems to be coming from Milidragovic.
Yeah, it's that left kick to the body. He's found his mark a couple of times. Left straight, left kick. Maybe go left high kick. Southpaw triple attack. And Ceranja's a little frustrated. I mean, usually, like I said, he loves to kickbox on the outside, but he's facing a bit of a mirror image there.
Still trying to feel their way into this. Warming into it slowly. Working out the open stance, I think, for Ceranja, as you said, Chris. But Milidragovic looks very calculating and is definitely trying to find a home for that left hand. At lightweight, you can expect the speed. You can expect the accuracy. Whether or not they've got finishing power there, we'll have to wait and see. No attempt to take this to the mat. And that's interesting because Ceranja has got that IMMAF grappling background. Starting to put a bit of heat now on the strikes. Starting to land them. Exchanges now just having a little bit more heft.
A lot of hesitancy here. I think for sure Milidragovic is getting the better of these exchanges. There's been 3 or 4 very hard kicks to the body, but Ceranja's just kind of lost his confidence. The kicks were coming up a little bit short. Again, it's usually a style he can excel in against other guys. So that's what made this matchup intriguing to me, Will, and that's what's playing out here.
Still very respectful. Ceranja, I don't think, has really got the measure of the distance here. But that said, neither has Milidragovic, who isn't landing with all the shots. And as I say, hesitancy playing a big part in this. And this is probably the first round we've seen in tonight's proceedings it's got this far without anything meaningful happening. Ceranja trying to find a home for that left hand. Well, they're doing up all the dots. Trying to come in behind the hands with the high kicks. Joining up all the missing bits. Good footwork from Ceranja. He's starting to now warm to the task. And, somebody really needs to do something, because I think the referee might have to say something in terms of having these two engage.
It's a very linear fight right now in my view, and it's definitely like in and out, you go, I go, and nobody really biting on the feints, which again is uncommon because stylistically these guys haven't really faced a mirror image, especially at kicking distance on the outside here, and that's what's unfolding, trying to find data.
10-second clap up. As I said, nothing exceptional in this first round. And the klaxon. Probably a rethink in the corner. It's the distance that's causing the problem here. How to get in on the inside and how to do damage, and no one wants to engage. Just a little too respectful.
I agree wholeheartedly, but for me it's going to be Milidragovic with the heavy kicks to the body. Boom, again, just perfect 45 right up to the midsection. And again, I think that made Ceranja a little bit hesitant. There, the high kick from Ceranja just way too wide.
So much of the talk in the corner is going to be about engagement. Closing the distance, getting the range, trying to get inside the pocket, trying to land shots, meaningful shots. A few have been fired, but certainly not enough to put either one of these fighters away. We're going to go to 2, and that's the first time this evening.
It'll be intriguing to see whether any corner here turns it up a notch. Now, if I'm Milidragovic, I know that Ceranja is going to know he lost that last round and probably get a little bit more aggressive, maybe take some more risks, maybe play the counter here.
That left hand of Ceranja, heat-seeking, trying to find a home. A lot of difficulty here dealing with the open stance. That's a good way in, behind a good front push kick. Up goes the high kick as well. So, from your lips to their ears, Chris, it's the corner of Ceranja that is urging Luka Ceranja to start to bring the heat.
Milidragovic is doing a good job just with that little switch to the lead calf kick. He's landed that a few times. It's smart. It's really easy because you can battle for outside foot position and then just switch right up into it, which is always going to be an important battle in this open stance fight. Nice straight left. Again, you know, you can feel the counter. You know the aggression's coming from Ceranja, so just don't overstep, but tag him.
So, huge amount of confidence shown from Milidragovic. His last outing at Octagon. Suffered a loss, first one in his career. And he's taken this bout as a cancellation after 1 day's notice. I mean, that's a late replacement. Taken an offside shot there. We'll have a look and see. Luka Ceranja just doesn't get the front push kick right. Starts off, funnily enough, at the belt height, but slides down, and of course, caused a little bit of unintentional damage. Back to the action. Milidragovic probably ahead, as Chris says, on points at this stage. Ceranja needs to make inroads needs an impact here that we're not really seeing. And again, the defensive play probably not serving either of these fighters. Taking it in turns to be aggressive. And that left hand rears its ugly head again from Milidragovic. Throwing shots but not really landing. They're both busy, but it's incredible you can be this busy and not actually have an impact. So, great story of Ceranja's, that he just up sticks. Headed off to Iceland. And, as Chris said, Coach Gunnar Nelson and his record, 35 years of age, 19-5-1. Oh, and he gets clipped there with that left hand. The open stance, just a problem for Ceranja, and it's starting to show. And we were going to investigate some of the history behind Gunnar Nelson. No time for that, because I think now, halfway through this second round, there's an upsurgence of action from Milidragovic. Can he do it again? Buoyed with confidence. Starts to bring it on. Not following through though. So again, we're back to this game of tag team aggression. One fighter starting to bring the heat, the other fighter dancing out of trouble. Chris, how can this play out?
Yeah, what I think Ceranja needs to do is throw more than 1 or 2 punches in one kick. There's got to be maybe some angles. There's got to be something a little bit more, shall we say, creative, because he's just walking onto the left. Like I said, Milidragovic knew from the beginning of the maybe 60 to 90 seconds of this round that that punch was going to be there, and he dropped him with it. Again, clips him.
Left hand straight through the middle. And Ceranja has to have a care. Milidragovic maybe thinks he can finish. I don't think he can, but certainly as far as the round has gone, certainly in favour of Milidragovic. If we say that the first round has, then this puts Milidragovic in a very good position if it goes to 3. Ceranja has done what is incredibly foolhardy, I think, and that is dropped his hands.
He's just completely walking onto these punches. The hands are low. He's attempting a hand fight a little bit with his left hand, but it's just not enough other than coming straight in and throwing 1 or 2 punches and 1 kick. It's just a lack of creativity for me, Will, and going back to the same thing over and over that got him caught and dropped.
So twice he's seen canvas. He wasn't counted. Very lucky. But that's not going to fare well with the judges. He's going to go into the third. It's the first time we've seen a fight go the distance. We were looking very closely at the card, actually, and trying to work out how things would swing. And this was one of the fights that we just really couldn't work out where and how it was going to end. And I have to say, and I don't mean this in a harsh way, I just think the lack of engagement has made this a problematic bout. Ceranja misses the uppercut, but then walks straight onto that left hand. But the creativity from Milidragovic, although limited, is just that much higher.
And it's effective. It's exactly that. You know, too often we've seen Ceranja just feet ahead of the hands, walk right in, and be completely out of position.
Third and final round. The first of this evening. This is our first bout on the main card. Been an interesting run. A little bit unsatisfying, I have to say. However, that could all change. Luka Ceranja takes on Luka Milidragovic. Milidragovic fights blue, Ceranja fights red. So far, we'd have to say Milidragovic has edged each round, although they have been somewhat uneventful.
I want to see Ceranja attack that inside leg. It's definitely available. You can just see how bladed the stances are here. And for me, it would be an easy attack, maybe a safe attack.
So that right hand with a faux uppercut, followed through with the left hand from Milidragovic. His turn to dish out an offside shot to Luka Ceranja. little bit of collateral damage there. And just looking at the face of Luka Ceranja, it's hard to see how all that damage could have been caused from what has ostensibly been a lack of engagement.
Yeah, I agree. I would also say he's kind of done it a little bit to himself.
However, we're seeing that Milidragovic is getting through, the damage is there, and that's the proof of the pudding. So, on we go, the third round. A rabbit from the hat for Ceranja, that's what's needed here. But I don't even think he's got the hat, let alone the rabbit, and gets caught again with the left. Milidragovic, 1 day's notice to turn up here and fill the gap for the slated bout. And Ceranja maybe didn't have enough time to do his homework, but certainly over 2 rounds you'd know that your hands need to be up right above your ears to stop that faux uppercut and the left hand going through.
It's just that slight edge and reach as well for Milidragovic that's done him well. The leg reach, the arm reach, and I'm not sure on the stats, but it's certainly more effective reach in this fight. And I think that's been one of the biggest differences in a relatively low output contest as far as what's been landed.
Well, the damage to the face of Ceranja is the evidence. That's the smoking gun. And no matter how we feel about the lack of creativity and maybe the lack of aggression in this bout, it's all about hitting without being hit, and Milidragovic has probably done that very well. He's making his FNC Pro debut here tonight. A lot at stake, really, and he's a last-minute call-up, so what a shock win this will be. So Ceranja almost handing it on a plate, and I would venture that's mainly to do with the fact that his defences aren't really up to scratch. That's where he needs his hands to be, and working. He's done nothing different, Milidragovic. Same stance, same movement, same twitch, same feint, and manages to slip that left hand in off the back of that right faux uppercut that we're seeing. Seeing a little bit of creativity from Ceranja, but to pull off a spinning back kick at this stage in the bout to make it meaningful kind of suggests that there's some ideas that have gone past Ceranja and he's now running out of creative new ones.
There's a lot more purpose, I think, though, from Milidragovic. It's not super evident, but with his footwork, it's just a little bit of this half-stepping going on where he's a lot more planted, and that's what's allowed him, when the opportunity is there, to connect so convincingly, I think, whereas Ceranja's a little bit mixed up, a little bit uncertain, a little bit hesitant.
Well, I think the attitude of the crowd says it all. So interesting that Milidragovic trains out of UFD Gym Dusseldorf. What a great home for champions that has been over the years. And some big names have emerged from UFD. They put him in good stead here because the work has been steady. There you go, the left hand firing at will. He knows he's probably got this. Doesn't need to risk too much. Just needs to keep the pressure going. And for all of the ducking and diving that Ceranja has done here, he's just not been able to elude those shots. And as you say, Chris, has walked on to everything that Milidragovic has thrown. The problem for Milidragovic is he's been thrown right out of the pocket, but it's Ceranja that's moved the target area into the pocket, and that's what we're seeing here now. So, clock winding down. We're not going to see anything dramatic from Ceranja. It's going to have a meaningful impact in terms of him being able to take this. I think it's a decisive win here, no matter how, let's say, well, I was going to say uninteresting, but that's harsh. No matter how uneventful the performance from Milidragovic, a win is a win. It's his debut. He's won his debut, and he was a last-minute call-up. But Chris, I know you're itching to give us your view on how this should have gone.
Yeah, you know, you take a look at it, I think both fighters are very young in their careers, are going to take something away from this. They're going to go back to the gym and figure out, hey, these things worked, these things could have been different. I feel like the overall fundamentals, although very similar, were just that much more in favor of Milidragovic. Even in some of these exchanges, you could just see how much more linear he was and how much more balanced he was to deliver those counter punches. Perfect. You know, both fighters step into the pocket. You can see what I mean right here. He's just perfectly lined up to deliver a straight left without any extra wasted movement, whereas a little bit of the flim-flam on the outside from Ceranja and even kind of being out of alignment, if you will, caused him so many problems.
Fighters.
And at the end of those 3 completed rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards, where we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges scoring this bout 30 points to 27 in favor of your winner. In the blue corner, Luka Milidragovic!
Unanimous decision in favor of Milidragovic,
Luka Ceranja.
sporting his military berry. We're going to have a quick word. A win's a win.
Pehar pobjedniku dati će hrvatski UFC borac Ivan Erslan.
The award being made by huge FNC star, huge MMA presence, Ivan Erslan. Milidragovic will be happy to receive it from such a well-respected fighter. We're going to go and have a word with him eventually. We'll see what he thought about his performance here tonight. And as I said, we thought it was stilted, but a win's a win, and it's his debut. Last-minute turn-up. That's a result all round.
Luka, čestitam u dvoboju, 2 Luke, u jako tehničkom dvoboju do samog kraja. Bilo je jasno da će biti neizvjesno, ali čini se da si ti bio dosta bolji i na kraju zasluženo pobjedio. Kako je to izgledalo kod tebe unutar kaveza?
Pa evo, pa izgledalo je, ne znam, samo sam osjećao svaki pokret što trebam napraviti. Sad stvarno ne znam kako je izgledalo, to ću morat pogledat. Ali evo, Zadre, hvala vam znači na predivnom navijanju. Svaki vaš pljesak i sve nas je guralo samo prema naprijed. Tako da, moram se za ovu borbu najveću zahvalu dati mom treneru Danijelu Maksimoviću. Znači, čovjek me, evo, sve što ste večeras vidjeli, on zahvalan za to. Želim se zahvaliti mojoj obitelji koja mi je broj 1 podrška, mojim sponzorima, mojoj obitelji iz Zagreba i cijeloj, znači, dubrovačkoj publici ovdje večeras. Oduševljen sam koliko vas je, obožavam vas, znači. I ovo je kapa dubrovačkih trubadura, tako da ne bi bilo neke zabune poslije na društvenim mrežama. Hvala svima i vidimo se uskoro.
Evo, Luka, odgovorio si mi zapravo na pitanje. FNC publika je dugo čekala tvoj povratak. Hoćemo li te napokon sada gledati češće u FNC kavezu?
Znači, evo, mislim da sam ovom izvedom dokazao jedan mali dijelić mene kad sam spreman. Mislim da sad konačno možete vidjeti koliko u mojim prošlim borbama je tu bilo neke loše sreće oko spremanja, što su svi govorili da ja ne treniram, da nisam radnik, da ne volim težak rad i to sve. Samo moji najbliži znaju koliko se ja žrtvujem u ovom sportu i koliko sam posvećen i sad se nadam da ste vi vidjeli samo jedan dio toga. Eto.
Mislim da su svi vidjeli, dame i gospodo, sjajan borac i veliko pojačanje za FNC, Luka Milidragović.